All right. So on this video, I'm going to talk about what happened this week in EURUSD and what to expect next week. So let me take a plain sheet. So this doesn't look like a cheat. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right. So a new week starts your analysis from a new week chart,
Okay.
and every day you go to your daily time frame to know what to expect. So last week I checked out I was expecting a bullish week last week, and last week I was expecting this week to be bullish, and this is a full bullish candle here. But why was I expecting this week to be bullish? I was a little bit skeptical because this is a weekly structure, and this is what we have here, a weekly structure.
Okay.
When looking at your week, you don't really need the full structure. I make use of candles, but I still pay attention to the structure in some cases. This right here is safe to call it an order block or a supply zone for supply and demand traders. And this chart right here is very bearish as it took this out. And
Yes.
it also took out the last low
The last flow.
brought out that generated this high. So telling us that okay, the continuation of this initial bearish leg is about to start. So we could see some serious movement from here. Now, apart from it mitigating this order block, we can see that there is a fair value. I'm sorry. We can see that there is a fair value gap at this side here. Now, this is what I actually paid attention to. Price came into the fair value gap, mitigated it completely, then mitigated the order block and closed below. So this is forming what they call like a rejection candle and the rest. But I still stuck to my bullish bias because of my model of how I pick my daily bias. That's how each candle closes above the previous candle confirms. Now this particular week candle now, even though it had rejected from this, it still closed above the previous three candles. Can we call it four, right? So what I was looking at was, okay, even though we want to see a bearish movement, I would like to see a bearish movement into this zone, then confirm. If I'm to change my bias for this week, I would love to confirm if price is about to break this low, then I'll now say, okay, it's about to sell for the week. And when price traded into the discount of the week, it traded into the 50% of the daily range before pumping back upward. So this is how I got my week to being bullish. And now just because my week is being bullish, I go to my daily time frame to also know what is going on each day. Then for the daily time frame, so this is Friday, 1, 2, 3, and this is Monday. Now I'm going ahead with a bullish week, right? And on Monday I had a bearish idea. Why did I have a bearish idea on Monday? So this is where I draw the structure of my chart now. So this is the overall high, right? So this is the daily range. This right here is the daily range. From this high to this high is the daily range. That's what I'm trading at. So I took this out as the OB that got mitigated, but price hasn't given anything. Moreover, there was one above here as well, but let's just stick to this. The price mitigated this on Thursday, then on Friday it's pulled downward. And we took out this relative equal highs, we can call it, known as liquidity for a lot of us. We expect price to come and take this. And seeing that I was going with the overall idea of the week being bullish, since prices have reacted from this, so which area will I be able to confirm my bullish idea? Okay, that was what I was also looking at.
Sure.
And what will be a factor to tell me that, okay, this bullish idea is wrong and we are selling if price had gone below this area here? If price had gone below this low, then I would say, okay, the week is going to be bearish, right? But price didn't. If price had traded below this, I'll be looking for more bearish legs than bullish legs. So since we are still looking for how to continue the bullish bias that we talked about on the weekly, what is confirming that we are bullish in this? So apart from this recent structure coming up as breaking this high.
So say does the DXY?
This is
when the DXY, like when the DXY goes up, it means vice versa. DXY is gonna go down. Like
yes, once Euro USD is going up, DXY is going down.
Oh, okay, sir.
So,
but sometimes I tend to see that but with indices, sometimes with indices, DXY can go down and Nasdaq goes down too.
Nasdaq. Well, I don't trade Nasdaq most of the time, so I don't know the relations between the both of them.
Okay, no problem.
I'm used to pairs, only pairs.
Pairs. Okay, pairs. The pairs that I like USD JPY and GBP USD.
USD JPY and
GBP USD. Those are my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
And don't worry, we're going to touch those two as well. So let's go down on this. So this was a break here, confirming a change of character, and this was also a smaller break here to say that yes, we are bullish for the week. And where is the lowest zone? Price took out this low, also took out this candle here, which is supposed to stand as inside bar. Yeah, that's what they call it, inside bar. And so we can call that a sweep. Then seeing as this pullback had mitigated this zone, we can put this one, your entry at this area here. Then just anticipate higher prices. Then once price comes down here, you use that to judge what goes up, to know what is going up. Then if you push it back to the 15 minutes, you see that price was stacking. Okay? And with this structure, we can see that this was on Friday, and I wanted to sell on Monday to know, since price rejected and failed to take out Thursday high, I wanted to keep selling on Monday to know what happens if price to drop price to this area, see what price does, and conclude. But on Monday, when price we actually had a gap above, and price didn't even trade below Friday lows.
Yeah, so take them out.
Yeah, it didn't even come close to it. So on Tuesday, I just continued my bias, and I've been on that all through before this particular move starts happening. But each day, I use how the candle closes. How the candle closes. What I'm doing the next.
The candle close.
Yes, the time what I'm doing the next day, actually. So you said you do USD JPY?
Yes, sir.
USD JPY. Okay, I did an analysis on this. This must have been a long time though.
Yeah. Nice one.
Let's clear that for now. So for the week, what would I have expected? Well, if I was to trade this, if I was looking at USD JPY to trade this week I just ended, I would have been anticipating sales because of of this month and expecting sales for the second week of this month. Because of you can see how
Yeah.
this traded way below these three candles, these two candles. It still closed above this,
Yeah.
but it's showing a serious form of high pressure of bearish bias. It did have this rejection telling us that okay, yeah, bullish the bullish makers in the market are probably coming in. And now what should we be expecting? Well, even though we are having a bearish bias, we don't want to be selling at this place. We actually want to be selling at premium of the trading leg or
Okay.
the trading range. So even though just because you have a bullish bias for a day or the next day, you want to sell if you have a bullish bias for the next day, you want to sell at discount, and if you have a bearish bias for the next day, you want to sell at premium. So you always wait for price to retrace. You understand?
Okay.
So seeing this rejection, we can just be like, okay, what I'll be looking at is just me marking since this high is still higher than the previous week. I'll just mark it out to this one. You can see price traded to the discount. Above the to the
Yeah.
premium, sorry. Above this red line is premium, below is discount. Price traded to the
Yeah.
premium zone before booking downward for the week. So I'll be going with a bullish with a bearish idea, marking out this zone just to look at it. Then this area is an area of obstacle. Why am I calling this an area of obstacle? This is a support turned resistance. So this is a support that was broken completely without being respected, and price can go back there.
Yeah.
And what is giving this an higher value again? It was also at premium of the last week candle. So if we go to 1 day now, we can see a little bit of structure within it, and this is a PO high. I don't want to mark this because this is what happened last week, and this would be a block that was invalidated for people who trade other block. You understand? And
Yes, sir.
seeing that the price have been bearish, seeing how this was the last low that created an high, then this low right here, this is actually an internal low. Why is an internal low? Because it's in between this particular low and this particular high. So this internal low gave this high before breaking the low. So on this daily time frame, this is the main proper change of character when price traded below this and closed with body closure. If it's a wick, it's a sweep. If it's a body closure, that is when it's a wick. And now the areas at this zone now, since this is now the new daily range that have been created, what should we now be looking? What should we be looking out for? All this, we can pick out this guy here as a point of interest. And on a channel, you mostly see me tagging the very top end. If I'm looking for sales as supply, and if I'm looking for buys, I tag the very last end as demand. Why? Since this is the last area where price starts to retrace from the dealing range, and I'm looking at this as where sellers came into the market. So this is the supply zone where they started selling. It's a supply end, and in order to confirm more, in order for this structure bias to be legit, you need to see a fair value gap in between the structures. This has an internal structure. Now, apart from internal structure, is there a little bit of fair value gap on it? There's a fair value gap here. This candle to this candle, there's a gap in between. And this one now would be like a 1 hour order block. Or this is daytime frame. This can be a 4 hours order block. But price might not get to this area here. So we can focus on this newly developed range that just broke this low. And since we expect price to win, we don't really expect price to take this guy out. Even though it takes this guy out, we expect a turnover from around there to start going back downward. And let's check the 4 hours. So this is how the chart looks on the 4 hours. this that we marked out, you can see it took out an internal structures where people will love to start saying their selling price from continuously. It took them out for a break above. And now why this break above is even very nice, because price still took it out again before changing character to the downside. And let me what's wrong with this? So this was a break. Sorry, this chart is kind of messy. I'm just explaining. I get my chart.
No problem.
Messy. So now this area here is a break, not a clean break, but it's still a break because these candles were above it and there were body closure. And the next thing price did immediately after doing that, remember we're in a bearish zone, right? This is this is an order block that took out this high, internal liquidity, fair value gap, mitigated this zone, broke structure, pull back. There was no much fair value gap here because this guy here took it out completely, then continued the trend. When price got to this guy, it reacted, forced reaction, giving us a double top without this guy being mitigated at all. So this was when the guy got mitigated. You understand? And now some people will now be like, okay, fine. We've taken out this guy now. Let's start selling from this dump here. Price went back, took them out, then now did the proper change of character at this zone here by breaking it. So let's say this didn't happen. Let's say this didn't happen when price is coming downward. Once you confirm a change of character to the downside at this zone here, you either pick this internal time frame as like an aggressive zone, or you pick this guy as a proper change of character. You understand?
I understand, sir.
Yes. Then after this happened here, price decided to do this. This was the high. And for people who swings, some of them will probably even take a trade from this zone downward or from this fair value gap here all the way here. That's where that entry will be and will have been tapped into the market. But for day traders like us, when price came down, this was what happened that previous week. Now, want to now continue it for this week that just happened. We know that this right here was a block that price disrespected. On Monday, you see the reaction it got from this breakout block here.
Yeah, I can see, sir.
You see it went back down.
It went back down.
Then price later took this guy out on Monday. It's still that same one. This was okay. Wait, this book downward was on Sunday. Then price went down to clear the ice. Then started retracing on Monday. Tuesday just followed suit and took out this low. Let me go to the 1 hour. So let's view it in the 1 hour. So this was the other block that reacted. Then Monday traded above. Okay, since it traded above now, closing with body closure. Some folks will be like, okay, you want to expect some buying pressures anywhere around there. You understand? Anywhere around there, they might be looking for it. But Tuesday just kept and closed below. It didn't close below.
Get you, my brother.
It didn't close below Monday low, because this was the very low for Monday, and this was when price ended on Tuesday. But why were you not switch? Why were you expecting more sales on Tuesdays? Because if price did this on Monday, breaking an high, Tuesday is meant to continue this perspective, right? Even though there's no momentum, it's meant to continue this perspective. But as a day trader, this is how we just changed buyers and we always use a confirmation model. So since Tuesday went downward, on Wednesday we're expecting some selling behaviors. And Wednesday, this one is why I don't really trade this space. See this whole range altogether. Very, very amazing. Wednesday, what happened? Price ranged but went downward and broke this particular low. The moment it broke this particular low, what is it telling us about this high? That this high is strong.
Yes.
It's confirmed that this high is strong. Now, for Thursday and Friday, you can be looking to do something at this top here. But with always with a confirmation model. Okay, this even happened on Wednesday as well. This pullback was on Wednesday to this zone here. Then it started rejecting. But this is just how we navigate the chart. USD JPY seems to be very, very, should I say volatile? It is not that volatile, sir. It's not that volatile. But this is just how we tend to switch our models and understand what should happen the next day and the following day. On the daily time frame, you can see they are all ranges. So this was Wednesday, right? This was Monday. Monday closed above. Tuesday we're looking to buy, failed. So on Wednesday we're looking to take out this low. We did, but we did not close the body closure, telling us that this high might be weak. But on Thursday, it still sold, invalidating the idea of this particular trade being to be sold at all, of this particular day being a bullish bias. Then on Friday, it still sold.
Yes, sir.
I think it was almost on all peers that market was very crazy this week.
Yeah, too much.
Because this right here now, I can see, I didn't trade it, but I'm very sure a lot of people lost money. People trading this pair, most of them will lose money. Because price was just doing something. So is there any question you want to ask? Probably a model, a confirmation model or pattern?
What is I want to ask something regarding the level, that level. Yeah, that under it. Yeah, that level, sir.
Okay.
Because that's where most people would have taken sales, because they would have thought it's a retest.
Okay, like you want them for a breakout block to sell, to keep going downward, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the question?
So the question was, how do I know? So the question is, because most people there, even myself, I would have sold, because my mind would have told me that it's a retest there.
Okay. First things first, I'll advise you have some kind of confirmation model at this area here. You understand? You don't just trade it. And
okay.
The little issue about this particular zone is this breakout block is at discount.
Yeah.
Is at discount level of this new trading range. You can see.
It's a discount level.
Yeah. Now, if this breakout block was steady, like where this candle is, if it was seated here, it's still far more preferable to take an entry from, because at least you are at equilibrium of this dealing range. So when you want to take any trade, when you're looking for sales, you should know that you don't want to be selling at a discounted area. And there's this stuff that I talk about, premium of discount and discount of premium. What I mean is this particular premium area, from this top to this place here is premium. But if we do the 50% of this top to this top, we have a discount within this premium and a premium within premium.
Yeah.
Now, in between that equilibrium line, or if you use a Fibonacci tool, is always around 0.6, which we tag as early buyers, the people that price come, mitigate, give a fake reaction, then come back and clear them out, then going into the premium area, then take price downward. Now, what I'm explaining is something price going, doing something like this, then coming downwards, like it's going down, then go above, then start trading downward again.
Okay.
You understand?
I get you. I get you, sir.
That's what I mean by it always happens around that area most of the time. Most of the times it happens around that area. So for this area here, you will see that since it's already at a discount zone within premium, you have to pay attention. You can't just take a sell here. You want to see what price does at this area here. And one of the classic models for you to use to enter a trade is this. So we have an high, then a low, then another high. So now what this is saying that this is a bullish trend, right? Then this high coming down to take out this particular low. You understand?
Okay.
Then price coming back upward, reversing, probably going back up to mitigate this further area.
Yeah.
Then you want to start seeing price going downward. This is one idea. Now, why did I put this? In every dealing range, you want to see an internal structure, an area for you to say that people will be trying to sell here before the real selling starts. There's always an early sellers before the real sellers. And in between this and this, you want to see a fair value gap there to confirm that. Now, apart from this happening, you don't really see this in the market. What you really see is this. Price going up, give a reaction down, goes upward again, continue the trend, then mitigates this area at this zone here, then give a reaction. You understand? Then breaks. Now, telling people that it wants to keep buying at this zone. You understand? And the moment price comes down to tap this guy, gives a fake reaction, causing a market structure shift from here to here. Then the moment this zone here breaks this low, some people want to start buying. Some people want to start selling from this area here, Abi. But now we are expecting a fair value gap above it at the main entry. So we want to see price do something like this. Take them out, mitigate, then just keep going downward. This is what mostly happens in the market than this. Dragging people into the market, then taking all of them out. Because anybody that entered a buy position here and is seeing reaction will be expecting this high to be taken out. The moment price failed to get out and this zone took out this low, everybody say, oh yeah, a change of character had happened. Most guys are like, okay, let us enter from here, smaller risks and the rest. Price might even come, probably even give them a small reaction like this before going upward, then dragging the market downward. So most times this is what you see most times in the chart.
Okay, sir.
There's a confirmation model I actually did like this in the Telegram charts. It was showed there.
I'm checking like the market mostly it will mitigate your area, but do a little bit of false breakouts, then come back to that level, then continue.
Yeah, that's basically what happens. But this week that just finished, even when price is going through your direction, at times it's not coming back to tap your end. It can do this break, do a small movement like this, and just start going down. At times it just goes. At times it just goes, break you out, comes down again.
Then
It's been very
comes
funny.
yeah,
It's been very funny this week, though. It's been very funny. That's how I just said.
yeah.
Price has been very funny this week. So we just have like 7 more minutes to this zone before the zone. And
Okay, no problem, sir.
is there any other thing you want to ask? Let's check that NASDAQ is spoke about. Which NASDAQ? NASDAQ 100 index, right?
Oh, take the one Pepperstone.
Which is Pepperstone.
You can check those. Everything you analyze has some kind of brokers like Black Bull or Wanda, Pepperstone.
Oh, I don't think I have any of that, sir.
Yeah, okay.
It's like a Black Bull.
Yeah, this one is fine too.
Okay, so most people look at 1 week before this goes. Okay, so I think market just played around with almost everything, because looking at this structure, I'm having a bearish bias, but
Yeah,
price is really at discount of this very bullish leg. You understand? And now, why did I say price?
yeah,
Why did I say prices at discount of this very bullish leg? This was the last high. Sorry, this was the last high that was given, right? And this
yeah.
was the low that gave that high. This was the low that this was the last low that I created, right?
Yes.
This can actually be known as a sweep and could be taking price to continue this. That's very bad. To taking eye to continue to take out this eye. Or
Okay.
we can also expect, okay, price might want to come and mitigate this zone. This is an internal structure. You understand? And it has done a change of
Yes.
character around this zone. The price probably want to do this. It's going up. Take this out. Probably comes back. Does something like this and keep going down. But this is a weekly. We can't really wait for that to happen on a weekly. If this was like a daily and 4 hours, now this is what we're looking at to happen. Okay? So something like that would happen. But with this going on, if I'm to trade this for next week, I'll be after this eye taking out, then this also eye taking out. That's what I would like to see price do. Because since price did break below this, actually confirmed the bearish leg because it's closed with body closure. And I can't really say anything about this because I don't trade index, because this still closed with body closure around there. And it's meant to be bearish. It's showing a bullish candle, but it closed body closure, so this could be taken out as well. We could actually expect this to do that perfectly, because price is telling us that this particular last eye was strong, even though it's showing bullish structure. Let me see what happened in 4 hours. Let's see what happened there. Okay, gapped downward here. Then after the gap, it booked upward all through. But I would say be very careful when trading this next week, because this particular structure is showing bearish, yeah? The new structure has been bearish. So
yeah, it's been bearish.
Since price gave this, if price trades below this next week, you understand, below this area, yeah, you can expect further price downwards, and it could do something like this probably on Monday and Tuesday, and probably Wednesday it takes it out completely. You just know that, okay, we are going down. We are most likely going down.
Okay, my good sir.
But because this reaction now is based on there's an old order block sitting right there. You get? There's an old order block It reacted based off this old other block. And then it even took out this inducement. Sorry.
Yeah.
It took out this inducement to mitigate this guy. And that's what to say.
And it got mitigated.
Yeah. Then started going upward. So this reaction, there's possibility of you seeing some movement. If it wants to continue this reaction, this eyes will be taken out and keeps going downward. But once this is invalidated, if price goes above this zone, we are going to be bullish again. But if price can close with below this, we are most likely coming after this low and we are bearish. A new bearish structure is starting. The zone will end very soon. I do hope you learned something from this live stream. Yeah. And any questions, you can just direct it to my DM. Okay. Were you okay with the live test?
Yeah, I'm good, sir.
All right.
We just explained it nicely to me. I'm still taking notes of what you say.
Yeah, so any question, you can just direct it to my DM as I will respond to it. I'll also make this video available on YouTube, so in case you want to rewatch it. All right, and you can send me a direct DM. You can send me a direct DM if you need anything. All right.
Okay, no problem, sir.
All right then. Do have a lovely day.
Thank you.